Does being around a narcissist cause you to be more narcissistic? Well, I believe it does, actually, because when you hang out with someone for any extended length of time, inevitably that person is going to wear off on you. Their traits wear off on you. If you notice, when you see certain couples and they've been together for a long time, and people start saying, "Oh, you guys are starting to look alike," and they'll start dressing alike, and they'll start having the same mannerisms, and they'll walk the same way, they'll talk the same way, they'll use the same slang and stuff like that. That happens all the time. No matter which way you slice it, if you're around someone for any period of time, you are going to take on some of that person's traits. So I think what happens is, most of us, I know for myself, I'm very careful of trying to watch myself. That's why I went off social media. I don't want to become egotistical, braggadocious. And the thing with narcissists is that when you experience certain traumas, you tend to become more apathetic to other people because, not because you don't care, but because you're so busy licking your own wounds and feeling sorry for yourself from the traumas that you've experienced yourself, that it becomes hard to actually have emotions when you see another person in pain, only because you're almost like tending to your own wounds at that time. And that's why it's critical that you need to take time to heal, because we really can't be of use to other people if we're still licking our own wounds and feeling sorry for myself and shell-shocked from all of our own traumas. And most of us have experienced trauma in childhood and throughout our lifetimes, to varying degrees. So what happens is, when it comes time to care for someone else or be there, we might get a little discombobulated because no one was there for us when we needed them to be there, so we don't even know what to do, which is disturbing. But it's not really our fault. Unfortunately. It's kind of sad to say, but when you're mistreated to such a degree, you almost don't even know what to do when other people are kind of like in dire straits. I mean, I don't think you lose your human element. I mean, you're not like turning into a robot, full on psychopath. I am just saying that you absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, lose some of your willingness to, want to be helpful to other people, because you're so traumatized by your own things. So, you have to work on healing yourself, really, before you can help anyone else. And the thing is that, see, the thing that's very concerning and frightening is that the advent of social media has now created a situation where parents are giving these devices to their children at a very early age, and this makes them apathetic and grow up to be apathetic, because let's say someone posts on social media like, I just fell off my bike and I banged myself up. I mean, like, the person is not there in person. You can't do anything for the other person, okay? So you don't have any way, if you're constantly on an electronic device, you don't have any way to show your humanity. You have no training on how to be a human. You get where I'm going? You are being trained to be an apathetic robot, because all you could do is you can make a comment, but are you really there for that person? No, you're not there. You're not giving them a hug. You're not giving them a pep talk and showing, learning how to cater to someone else and be caring. So this is very troublesome. This is very scary, because we're creating a generation of apathetic people. It's like generation apathy. I mean, just no emotions, no humanity. And then what happens is the people like me and you that want to develop closer bonds with another human being, I mean, that would be nice, are finding that the entire culture is completely toxified and destroyed. So humans are being replaced by narcissists, by robots. I mean, I don't see how to reverse this unless you completely get rid of the devices. The whole internet and all electronic devices would have to go off the market. Does anyone see that happening? I mean, I wish I could put out a more uplifting message. I try to be as positive as I can be, but, I'm also a realist, and the more I think about it, the more disturbed I become. It's just disgusting what society is turning into. And now they're actually trying to push it further with this transhumanism, merging robots with humans. This is not a joke. Like, they're actually trying to do this. And all these metals that they're dumping from the sky, this changes your DNA. And it affects your consciousness. It affects your consciousness, when you don't see the sun for 3 months, and then you get 1 day of sun, and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, vampires don't need sun. They operate perfectly fine without sun. Humans need sun. It has healing properties. It's vitality, it's life, it's light. And all living species and organisms need the sun. Well, maybe some don't, that are in the ocean and things like that, but I think, for the most part, they do. But anyway, I just wanted to get in, does the narcissist qualities rub off on the target? Yes, I believe they do. They absolutely do. Narcissists, one of the ones I was around was extremely grandiose. I mean, like, through the roof on speed times 100, like, out of control, wild, I thought I was a little, out there. I'm on like 100 all the time. This guy was on like 1,000. But anyway, yes, I do believe they're qualities do rub off on you, whether you like it or not. So that's one thing I'm very cognizant of, making sure, I went off Facebook because I felt like I was getting a little egotistical, and I was like, this isn't me at all. So I could feel myself changing, and I've always been like super low key, super down to earth and quiet and stuff. And so I was like, that's not me. I never was like that before. How did I get like that? And then I noticed it very well can turn people into this. It turns people narcissistic. Straight up and down. It just does. I mean, there's no way to deny it. So, and it turns the focus on frivolous, silly things. It becomes more about looks than the actual person. What is that person? What is going on in their spirit? They're presenting an image online, but inside that person is broken down and crying, but they're presenting an image on the internet. Oh, my life is so perfect, and it has to be perfect because that's the only way anyone will like me, is if my life is perfect. Listen, you gotta get out of this matrix, because this is a very sick and dysfunctional matrix that was created for us. No one asked for it, but it was created. So you guys can let me know what your thoughts on this are. But without a shadow of a doubt, people are becoming extremely apathetic. Even if you go anywhere in the service industry, doctors, nurses, they've become completely mentally checked out. I mean, I wouldn't suggest going near a doctor or any nurse. I mean, don't go anywhere near them. I already learned my lesson on that. But, it's just like 99% of people are just completely mentally checked out of life. They're full on zombified. They don't have any passion for anything. Aside from watching cat videos on Facebook. That's important, that's very important. That's super important. Cats are, wow, they are important. So anyway, I put this picture on the screen of these butterflies. These, you don't see butterflies anymore now, do you? You should be seeing butterflies this time of year. Where are the butterflies? Where are the bees? Where are the insects? They're gone. I haven't seen one. But, you can turn into a butterfly from a caterpillar, There is beauty in life, and, you can turn into that swan. You have to heal. You have to work through it. It is not easy. But sometimes when everything is going wrong, it allows you to see clearly and really take a good hard look at what you need to fix and what you need to work on and why these things are happening. And you have to look at the roots of the tree. You have to look at what happened at the beginning, when the tree first started growing. Why is the tree, if the tree is rotting, why is it rotting? Because it wasn't nourished, it wasn't fed properly, and it wasn't taken care of by the people around the tree. So, once you realize this, you can figure out how to get the proper nutrients, the proper sunlight, and everything you need in order to start growing again.